Hi guys, got another one of my grandsons going to come and stay with us in a few days time, so I'm going to get myself prepared. I'm going to cut up some cardboard to make some chassis for some rubber band powered cars, get them pretty well pre-assembled so that he's just got the easy bits to do at the end, and hopefully that'll keep him occupied. So I shall cut these up. These are parts of a supermarket tray. Used to have raspberries in this, but it's nice thick cardboard. I'll actually make it double thickness to make it extra strong to withstand grandchildren, and I'll probably make a couple of chassis out of it and see how we get on. I might even spray paint it so it's ready for him. Right, that should be enough bits of cardboard for 2 chassis. That'll be one that I'll hot glue together so it's double thickness, and then put a drinking straw on one end for the axle to go through, cut a bit of a slot out the other end to make room for the rubber band, and put bits of drinking straw on it, hot glue them all in place. This one will be a different shaped chassis. I'll just make out of a fold of cardboard so that the strength comes from the fact that it's got a fold in it. So I'll hot glue that one together as well and put some bits of drinking straw on it ready. So I've got to go and get some drinking straws. I think I need some flour canes for the axles, flour canes and barbecue skewers, and need to make some wheels, which I shall make out of CDs, I expect. I need to make 2 cars because I've absolutely no doubt that he would like to race his granddad and obviously win, so we have to make sure we get the right cars. I shall use a couple of paper clips to anchor the rubber bands. So we need one on this end for that one, and one on here for that one. So I'll just hot glue them in place. Right, got myself small flour canes because I've actually run out. £2.49 for 25.6 metres long, so that's 60 centimetres. I've actually been into the hardware store and checked, and the equivalent wooden dowels are about between 4 and 6 times as expensive as this, so this is the cheapest way I can find of getting suitable canes for the axles. The only problem with them is they're not very often particularly straight, but you can usually find a long enough bit that's straight enough for what we actually use them for on these rubber band powered cars. So I've got them. I've got some drinking straws, so I should do a bit more preparation. Right, we'll put the front axle tube on. I'll put it on and then I'll trim it. I always put a little bit of hot glue right the way around the outside, so it actually links onto the hot glue that's already there, and that just seems to stop it snapping off the front. It holds it in place. So I'll let that cool down and then I'll trim them. When I trim them, I'll trim them so they stick out just a little bit. So there's about 1/4 inch or so, and that should be enough to stop the wheels rubbing against the chassis when they're going round. So I'll let that one cool down. Right, this chassis is a little bit different, but it's the same principle. Drinking straw for the front axle. I'll be using barbecue skewers for the front axles because they don't need to be very strong. The back axles will be the flour canes. So I'll just glue this one in place. sure it looks fairly straight, and then let that one cool down, and I'll trim that one as well. Right, I can trim this one, so say about 1/4 inch or so. So that should stop the wheels rubbing against the chassis. Tube for the back axle, it's going to have a gap in the middle, but if I stick it on there while it's in one piece, that will make sure they line up, and then I can trim them afterwards. Okay, I'll let them cool down and then I'll trim them. And again, about 1/4 inch outside. Okay, so that's ready. Alright, this one's a little bit more complicated. So I need to add some strengtheners at the same time. So it's probably a three-handed job. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll just put some little spots to hold it in place so that I get it right, and then put the proper glue on afterwards. So just a little spot there. Let that dry, cool, and then do it properly. Right, I'm just adding some extra little bits. They'll add a little bit of strength, but really they're just for looks. Right, need to trim them off, and then I might go and give it a little bit of spray paint just to make it look interesting. Don't want to put too much on because it might soften the cardboard. Right, now we need some wheels for this project. I've had a quick look in my garage and found a few wheels left over from some of my old cars, so I'll reuse them. That'll save me a bit of time. These ones have already got some rubber around the edge to give them extra grip. That's actually made from some power cable that I stripped the insulation off and glued around the edge. This rubber is actually for trimming rough edges in either in cars or computer power cases. It goes over the edge of the metal frame to give it a soft cover. So I'm going to put that round one of the discs, or two of the discs for tyres. So that will be the back wheels, and then the front wheels will just be ordinary CDs that I'll stick some of my bottle tops on, hot glue them in the middle, with a hole the right size for the barbecue skewers. Okay, so there we go, we've got our wheels ready, got two chassis ready. I've given them a coat of black and gold, so that should make them look fun. All I need now is my grandson, and we can get on with assembling it. So that's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be starring my grandson, hopefully.